I have dragged out this mainline Pokemon game fashion series long enough. Time to wrap it up, but I'm glad that I waited to cover the Kalos region closest to last because it may very well be my favorite region as far as fashion and style because these characters are serving us some looks. So let's get into it. Hola, my name is X, and I like to experiment with fashion as well as talk about what the hell I want on social media whenever I feel like it. And in this video, no agenda necessary because, like I said, the characters are absolutely delivering as far as the aesthetics are concerned. And so I don't feel the need to do anything like extra around it, like styling, shopping, all that jazz. But I do still want to cover some style components for context. So as far as general fashion themes for the Kalos region, it's based off of Paris. So we definitely see some of that French influence within some of the styles, outfits, and fashion that the characters have. There's a sense of sophistication, elegance, couture. In many ways, a lot of Pokemon outfits can kind of lean a little campy when they go really elaborate out of the box, but this just feels a bit more refined. As we go through the different character outfits, I'll highlight some of those signature elements of Parisian fashion, which has some parallel to NYC, and I'll probably be repeating a number of different points that I already mentioned there because, again, going with some sort of general analysis and review, really touching on general concepts and principles. But as far as specific gameplay mechanics, character customization was first premiered within the X and Y games, giving players the ability to change, mix and match a number of different elements of the playable character, from hair to accessories to overall outfits, which, as we know, character customization is a great tool to further immerse the players within the experience, but that naturally has some great tie-in to the overall beauty theme and fashion kind of element to this region. And I think another feature that further complements this and just is a great kind of packaged mechanical feature for this game more broadly is the fact that there's style points. And some people mentioned this in some comments in some of the other Pokemon videos that I've done, where within Lumiose City, which is pretty much Paris, you need certain style points in order to access certain items, and you get style points based on how you customize your character. This almost reminds me of Herb's Sims in the City. If you know, where like your cloud depended on how you aligned with the different style of the different kind of groups. And so I think that that's a great feature to include just to further highlight that fashion is a significant component to culture. And you're not gonna be able to get into certain spaces and places and influence people unless you dress the part. And so based on this context, when we look at the Kalos region style in general, they're giving me everything I could ever want. Like, as far as just general style, like everybody understood what they were supposed to do. Outfits are elevated, even for the most basic and practical outfits, effortlessly chic, which is not only a signature element of Parisian style, but just a general strong fashion principle and concept that I've constantly mentioned. And then as far as correlation with typing for the gym leaders, exactly. Like, we don't have to do any sort of Inception level guessing as to like, or need to know extensive lore and background as to what's going on with these characters. Like, it's kind of written on them, but in just a very stylish, fashionable way. Like, I know you can't have every region align with this, but I feel like it's just validating because when I've harped on this across a number of different regions, the fact that they really reserve this for the most fashionable regions like Unova and Kalos, like, it just highlights that this is what fashion is. Like, all right, with some of that intro goodness out of the way, let's go ahead and start hopping into these trainer and gym leader outfits. Starting with Serena, what differentiates her from the Unova girls, who are also within a stylish city, is the fact that hers really displays some of that elegant, sophisticated accent that we would expect from Parisian style. A nice kind of bow element at the top of the shirt, a high-waisted skirt for a sleek silhouette, even though we're still getting some volume and playfulness with the pleat, stockings, and overall strong accessorizing that just makes it feel effortless and in a different arena than something just especially everyday. Still some utility elements like the sneakers, the utility pouch on the skirt, which is actually a nice contrast and balance between a number of different aesthetics, but she just feels more polished, more put together. Callum is a similar situation. Unlike the Unova boys, he just feels more sleek and simple. Very, very clean. Not really too much extra utility component on his different garments. a nice messenger bag. The boots are one of the most interesting element here that I think not only differentiates him, but also makes him feel a little bit different than Parisian style, to be honest. But I think that only plays up a nice, unique personal style. And once again, it's the sunglasses and the hat for some great accessorizing that easily puts him in a different category as far as the genre of style and what he's conveying with his overall look. Trevor, as far as rivals, basic. I mean, I'm not really like, it's giving a little bit of like Beatles hairstyle, like very throwback mid to like late 1900s, but it's sophisticated nonetheless. Just looks like a school uniform. Tierno, I don't know why with bigger build characters, and I'm gonna really touch on this point, they always just have to default to like a t-shirt. They did this with Sophocles from the Alola region as well. I mean, I just really think that they could have gone with some statement outerwear, which is very Parisian style and really just strong style in general, to make him not only number one feel a little bit more slim, sleek silhouette like is signature to the region, but also just give him more style. A vest that was yellow, black, and white that could coordinate and pair perfectly with the shoes. But Shauna's looking super cute, like very fun, very trendy, also very youthful. But the sophistication comes through in the form of like the bows and like the ruffle details. I think that white bows and ruffle details would have been a little bit more conducive to this character and her age, would have made it feel a little bit more youthful, would have made it feel a little more cutesy. But I actually do like the black accents just for a little bit more edge and attitude and refinement as far as like the overall aesthetic is concerned. And even as far as the professor character, we see some of that stylish element come through. And another, I think, signature element of Parisian style is like effortlessly undone aesthetic, or just like not having to try too hard. And so I feel like it looks like he just kind of put that on, a nice go-to base outfit that isn't doing too much as far as statement, but is still very sleek, slim, and well put together. And just threw the coat on, rolled up the sleeves, called it a day. And just even the length of the pants and how it shows a little bit of the sock with the shoe, like it just subtle little elements like that do a lot of work without having to try too hard. Some people like to roll up in my comments and highlight how I missed all these different characters, especially minor characters, because they're just not a priority of mine to cover within these reviews and analyses. The Fude Soda girls, especially in context of a region that's focused on beauty and fashion, I absolutely thought that it was worth looking at them quickly together. Overall, similar to the stat trainers from the Sinnoh region, kind of flat. I mean, we're not getting the strongest statement, differentiated style that I'm at least really, that piques my interest. But I think that Lene and Blossom have some slightly elevated and differentiated like outfit orientation. Graceful, pretty, and also culturally inspired. So showing a nice flex in the range of fashion that can be displayed here. I also wanted to talk about Cassius and AZ because I just feel like they give us a bit more of like a rugged, alternative, and edgy kind of style that's also a little bit of outside of the norm of what we're getting from the mainline style of the characters within this region. I really love AZ's just a little bit more wilderness, kind of hiker, marauder type style. The scarf and the boots and the jacket and the beanie like still feels stylish without having to feel too patchwork and too wilderness. Really interested in that. And then Cassius just has a nice overall edgy, alternative, punky goth style. Spiky elements, interesting kind of patterned jeans, like nice statement jacket. All right, but now let's get into these gym leaders. I'm very much looking forward to covering all of their different looks. Starting with Viola. She's actually maybe one of the biggest exceptions out of what I said in the style in general piece, because hers feels very basic and straightforward. Still honestly well put together and a little bit above just an everyday pedestrian look, with some subtle accents that give it a little bit more personality. Doesn't give as much bug type outside of the concept of maybe she's just a photographer going around snapping different moments of bug type Pokemon. I would say maybe the pouch-like elements on her pants, which are my favorite part of the overall outfit, give bug type with some of the roundedness, because we see that in some of the bug type Pokemon in general. Next we have Grant, who I just really love the chic minimalism that we have going on here. Simple long sleeve black shirt, like tight, slim silhouette, effortless, with clear rock climber correlation or connection to let us know the typing, and even some accessorizing with the necklace and the clip. Typically I've said like it'd be nice if there was more rock-like motifs, but I feel like the hair kind of covers off on that a little bit. I don't know, it just steers outside of like the typical too rugged for something that just feels like a natural, neutral, monochromatic color palette that is also true to Parisian style. Karina, so absolutely fun for a fighting type. Might easily be one of my favorite fighting type gym leaders across the whole series and franchise, because it doesn't follow the very stereotypical cliche box that we expect from this type of leader. And I think that she also plays up like a roller jam or like a roller derby. I used to watch that when I was younger, where people are like in a roller rink and they kind of like fight to try to knock different team players down and like to try to win a competition. That's exactly what this is giving. And I think that is just so much fun. It's also a nice kind of like soft variation to fighting. So it's a little juxtaposition there. Ramos is what I would love to see more of from an older character. Like, still feels very modest and classic and timeless, which also I feel like ties to the region's overall kind of signature elements. Love a suspender moment, but it just feels extra stylish. It is like the suspenders, like the scarf, like the hat. Utility, but it's like a nice button-up shirt on top of that. And we clearly see within like the color palette and even just some of those utility components, like grass typed, like tender to the landscape. Then we have Clement. I would say he's maybe one of the first characters that feels a bit camp, because we're not really getting too much like sophistication, maybe outside of a yellow collared element on the jumpsuit, which is nice. But there's just simple accessorizing that not only ties to him being an inventor, as well as the clear gadgets that surround him, but also still feels a little bit minimalistic. Nothing too not like a big thunderbolt across his jumpsuit. Still enough to kind of let us know what's going on here. And I think that it's really interesting that they kind of continue to play with blue and yellow. In this regard, we've seen this as like a trend amongst a number of different electric type trainers. Valerie is one of the only trainers that I recognize out of like in the past looking at this region at a glance. At first I thought she was a bug type, to be honest with you, but fairy type is also very fitting. When you think like butterfly, that could also be very like ethereal and fairy-like anyway. She's giving couture though. I wouldn't say this is camp. This is definitely runway couture, and she's a fashion designer. So I mean, we're really getting all of the clear elements here. Like I could have maybe guessed or wondered if she was a model or a fashion designer just based off of her overall aesthetic. Really loving the silhouette, the volume, and how the wings are a really great contrast to that sleek silhouette. Just so many great elements going on with her. Olympia is everything I want out of a psychic type gym leader, giving me full celestial, cosmic, cerebral fantasy. Like, I think a lot of some of the more basic regions try to tie to this with some like prints or like designs. I love when they just fully go there, like give me the full experience. And that's exactly what we're getting here. And I think the fact that it's an overall black, just like outfit and suit that she has going on really adds to the depth of the pattern in the lining of the cape. So it just, and really helps those silver elements pop. Oh, I just love her design so much. And then Wolfric, absolutely. Like, simple outfit that he has going on overall, but just the use of the jacket over the shoulders easily pushes this into another direction. Effortlessly stylish, effortlessly dramatic, with that jacket turned cape, giving him so much more intrigue to his overall style and attitude and presence and dominance, like the whole situation, making him feel like he is truly the last gym leader that you would encounter. Really into. And then there's even some fur elements around the top, which I feel like help not only surround his hair color, but then bring us to the boots. So just great coordination overall. All right, now getting into the Elite Four. I've already covered Malva in the Pokemon antagonists video, but it's worth talking about her again. Like, sharp, sleek, stylish. Like, she's giving us a strong look, statement blouse and crazy pants with some amazing cutout elements, like fire just with the attitude. Also love her glasses. I mean, I love Team Flair's like style in general, to be honest with you. So I just feel like she, especially as like an admin of that, but then also an Elite Four member, really brings it all together. Siebold is giving us more of that kind of classic European style, mixed with chef, mixed with like modern runway kind of draping cloth, like fabric drama, but it's still a sleek silhouette. Like, you notice how that's still like a consistent element across all these different characters. And I do like that it's overall white. Kind of wish that there was maybe a little bit more blue within the lower pants and maybe a little bit of the apron. But I like some of those rounded elements throughout the outfit just to convey a sense of water in combination just with the nice pop of blue, just to kind of let us know that that's what he's working with. Ties to a little bit of like European Parisian heritage, but also just brought into a new with some contemporary influence. Wickstrom also is giving clear like European night situation. So I think it's interesting that the Elite Four so far are giving like definitely an admiral, a general kind of just strong elite stance, which is what I would expect from Elite Four members. So really liking that that's also another style and general component that's checked. Steel, obviously, I mean, there's really not much more to say. Like, we know what knight armor looks like, but at least they went all the way there. They're just like, you want a steel type? We're not going to give you a bracelet. We're not going to give you a belt buckle. We're going to give you the whole situation. And so I love that that's what's going on here. Drasna, less camp, less drama for Dragon, like more style and sophistication. Great accessorizing. Like, we don't need an obvious dragon's jaw coming out of like somewhere on our outfit all the time. Like, we're getting enough of those kind of dragon teeth situation going on, which is just such a great accessory. A belted top, so cute, loving the pattern in the skirt, and it's still a sleek silhouette. Like, it's not super rounded, it's not over the top. It just still feels like she knows what to do to put all her different pieces together, and just feels very native to the overall region in that regard. Effortlessly chic. But Diantha, wow, I'm blown away. Like, I just love this. The overall outfit underneath is very sleek, but statement outerwear just to give a bit more of that extravagance, especially for a celebrity. I mean, we need still something that gives us some statement and some couture, and that's exactly what she's giving us. Kind of wish that the boots were a little bit taller and a little more dramatic, to be completely honest with you, but overall, I feel like it's a nice mix just with the kind of jacket that she has, with something that is kind of classic, large silhouette, volume kind of look that we would expect from high-class, fashionable ladies and icons from history, but something that's so much more modern with sleek, clean, and fresh. So, and the handbag is so cute. Like, and I love that it's pink as well. Just something that's different. It just, I don't know. Just absolutely love it. But it's our Battle Mason gals that are giving us the full Marie Antoinette classic European historical fashion moment. Like, absolutely incredible. I love when there's like a set of characters that like look the same but just have color differentiation with like different hairstyles or like just like different elements of the outfit. So absolutely cute. Great designs. Loving the black elements thrown in just to kind of help not keep it look too cute. Again, if it was just like these nice bright bold colors and some white, would have looked really extra cutesy, but I feel like the black just gives it that edge and that attitude. I've said this before, especially for like the Battle Mason main gals or whatever is going on. It's just the hats, the shape, the volume, so classic, so chic, but brought into a new with a little bit more of that whimsy and playfulness and personality. All right, those were the characters that I was really digging after looking at everybody within this region. So glad that I saved some of the best for last. Let me know what you think. I might cover Legends, not really feeling it, but definitely some EX, and we'll see what other kind of deeper analyses I can do with Pokemon fashion now that we've gone beyond a little bit more of the basic. But until the next video, I'll talk to you later.